Should we be allowed to reject the vaccine? Getting the vaccine?
We are allowed to reject getting the vaccine.
Should we be allowed to?
Hello, one and all, and welcome. High Talks, where we're on a higher level. We talk about everything and anything. And this isn't just our podcast. This is our it's our podcast. Yeah, so it's not just me and Kat's podcast. You're also a big part of this podcast. So we do lots of interviews. Make sure your voice is heard in the comments, because in future videos we'll also use that. So follow us on socials as well. Once we got the socials sorted out, we're talking about if you have to take the vaccine.
Yeah, no, if it's okay to reject getting the
Yeah,
vaccine.
if it's okay to reject getting the vaccine.
Literally, I remember like how naive I was at the beginning of all of this. Like I was asking everyone, like, guys, are you not aware of the fact that after September it's going, like, you have to be vaccinated to go anywhere? Like, are you not conscious of this? And then like everyone's being chill about it. I think I'm going crazy. I should have known, like, halfway through September, halfway through August, I'm like, no data's no info's come out for the public to know about the rules that are going to be implemented at the end of September or at the beginning of September. I don't remember when it was, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And nothing's come out. I should have known then that they were chatting shit, because at the beginning, like, I was so convinced that, like, no, this is going to happen. I was telling everyone, like, this is going to happen. I should have known that it wasn't going to happen. And now, I promise you, I'll never trust them again. Like, it's instilled this hatred for them.
Yeah.
I fucking took one dose of it because he said that.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
My view on it is, I guess, similar-ish to yours as well. It's just like, I don't necessarily have the most trust in the government. I think this whole COVID thing, they've made us distrustful. 1 minute it's like, yeah, don't wear a mask, it doesn't help anyway. We need it for the NHS staff, which is a contradiction within itself.
Yeah.
Then they're like, oh, you need a mask and you should wear. There's one point where they're like, you need to wear 2 masks.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, okay, that might as well wear 2 condoms while we're at it. But it's just like, and then, then the story about how the how the virus started, that, some guy in China ate a bat.
But that was bollocks.
Yeah, because most likely it came from a lab, and now there's more and more evidence supporting that. And within a few months, we're going to be like, yep, it came from a lab.
I thought that was confirmed already.
They're still trying to placate it. But we was told, no, that's not true. You can't even think about it. You can't write about it on the internet. Everything was kind of just built in a way for us to distrust them. They weren't letting us freely discuss topics that matter. I've seen interviews on TV where a guy will come with a counter opinion and they'll cut off his mic. I'm like, well, how can I trust you if you're not even open to dissenting opinions?
That's
Do you get
standard,
what I mean?
isn't it? Oh my God. Okay, so I remember during the first lockdown or whatever, last point, and then we'll go on to the other videos because we've ripped into this person. But anyways, I remember I was going out to coffee shops and stuff with my dad because that was our little ritual and that. And we'd go to Cafe Nero. And all of these like elderly people are sitting there, and obviously me and my dad were like, what, are they not afraid of COVID? And if you chat to them, they were like, I've got about 10-20 years left of living. Are you mad? I'm gonna sit at home for 2 of them. Are you crazy? Like, it's just not happening. Should we be allowed to reject the vaccine? Getting the vaccine?
We are allowed to reject getting the vaccine.
Should we be allowed to?
Sure, free will, right?
And should we be allowed to reject getting the vaccine?
Yes.
Yeah?
I'm pro for that.
Yeah? Is that because of like a free will issue, or you just think you're against the vaccine as a thing?
I just think we should have choices when it comes to our health. And if someone doesn't feel like it doesn't feel right with me, it doesn't feel right in my gut, it doesn't feel right in my heart, and I just don't want to get it, so I don't want to be forced.
Yeah, I like that. It just some people doesn't feel right for them. And, some people will 1 minute be like, my body, my choice, and the next minute be like, no, your body, our choice. So that's
It's because she's black, let's not lie. She's feeling the same thing
thing
that
that we're all
we're like, I don't trust them. That's it.
It's like it's your choice. I mean, get it if like I'm double vaxxed, so double vaxxed. So I think that I want to protect myself and the people around me, you know, whatever. But like, I mean, if you have like, it's up to your beliefs. I mean, some people are like, you know.
So you think you should be allowed to have the choice?
It's your choice.
It's kind of bad as well, the fact that they bring the vaccine in and then they say, oh, you can't go to certain countries because you're not vaxxed. You can't go to concerts, you can't go to festivals, and it's like feels kind of pressured, but at the same time it's like they're not exactly telling you like you have to get it done, but you kind of like
making it impossible to live without
it. It's like I do want to go on holiday and I do want to go to festivals, so I have to kind of get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I still stick by what I said, that like all of these things are privileges. Like I don't believe that, you know, someone telling me that I can't fly, it's like I don't own a plane, I don't have a pilot license, I don't have these things, like I didn't make it happen for myself. So I do understand that restriction. So when people complain about like that's why, like, you know, this shouldn't be okay, that's not, like, you know, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand how people have that thing of like this is a right for me. But it's fair enough, like get the vaccine if that's your worry. Like I still agree that it is everyone's choice. Like if you want to get it, I don't judge you at all. If you don't want to get it, don't get it, I don't judge you at all. But you know, it shouldn't be pressured, it shouldn't be anything like this. But because of the capitalistic nature of our society, if a businessman wants to deny someone access to their venue or whatever because of this, because they're not vaccinated, that's their choice, and I can't say anything because I don't have shares in their company. I'm not his daughter or her daughter or whatever. So
Yeah, I see that argument, because that's the contradiction. The people that are like for freedom and rights also have to accept that companies have freedoms and rights. But yeah, the challenge is that a lot of these freedoms and rights are kind of compromised because the government's forcing them to make those forcing them, and that's where I disagree with the government, for because I'm sure a lot of airlines want
100%.
sales in it, and they don't give a fuck if you have vaccine or not. They just want to fill their planes full of passengers and make as much money as possible. But I think that's where government pressures and rules and regulations are getting involved, and I don't personally agree with that. But it's hard to tell if the airlines are doing off their own volition as well. It's a sticky one. It's a sticky one.
It's a very sticky one.
But I think the discussion, definitely the media needs to be more understanding, because no one can trust them if they're just completely ignoring any other argument against the vaccine, against forcing people to take the vaccine.
But in the same sense as what we said about these businessmen, is that the media is in the government's pocket too. So it's not about the media's, you know, like you're not allowing people to speak. It all goes back to whatever the government wants put out into the world, whatever propaganda that they want put out. Of course, major media outlets are going to be doing that. That's why, like, I have cultivated my Instagram. I try and put everyone on this, like going through your Instagram following, and get rid of anyone that like doesn't stimulate your mind, doesn't have the same kind of like thought process as you, or elevates your thought process and stuff. Because now I follow people like Simply Politics and you know, different things that like educate me on a different viewpoint of these things, and will like you make the conscious decision of what you digest, and you, as long as people are aware of the power that the government holds, then you should still do your extra research into these subjects and stuff like that. And but you're right, like the manipulation is disgusting, and it shouldn't be allowed, it shouldn't be legal. But who are making the laws?
That's true. That is true. But yeah, I do feel like I do agree with like maybe broadening your your influences for things like on social media and things like that, because I do feel people kind of keep themselves in their bubble of either very dumb TikToky quick content, or just their same political bubble of like people that agree with me. You do need to have a balanced perspective on things, and I guess that is now the individual's responsibility, because you can't trust the media. You can't trust the media. Come on, who trusts these motherfuckers? They're just gonna lie to you. They lie all the time, and then they don't give. about it.
And I love what you said about individual responsibility. I think is like the main like thread throughout this, because you like it's either your individual responsibility to look after yourself, your individual responsibility if you want to take the vaccine or not, and to what you take in from media and what you don't, what info that you believe in, what you don't.
Yeah.
Is all your everything that you take into your body, be conscious of. Think about what you're ingesting, digesting. As we said at the beginning, like we definitely believe that this is like, you know, a podcast for all of us.
Yeah.
You know,
like if you don't disagree, we want to hear what you have to say. We don't think you're an idiot for it. You might think we're idiots, and you could educate us. We're not geniuses.
We're not, and all we want is to like inspire conversation. And like, oh my god, I think this is so important to say, is that when we did our first day of interviews, like the reaction that we got from mostly younger women was that like they was terrified to share their opinion. They were like so like, you know, they just felt like invalidated by themselves. Like they just didn't feel
that strange as well.
So crazy, because I know like I am quite like, you know, a confident gal in some sense, but it's like, come on, at least like have an opinion. Like don't, I get it, a camera's scary and stuff like that, but it really like upset me, the fact that people don't like have enough confidence to share their opinion and stuff. So all we're trying to do is inspire people to, you know, get talking, get like, we don't trust the media, let's start chatting. Let's start sharing some knowledge.
I agree with that. I think people need to get more involved in the conversation, be open-minded. That's kind of our objective. I know maybe it might have seemed one-sided, but we're saying what we think, and that's why we do the interviews, to hear what people think and their arguments. And I found that strange about because when we asked the guys, they were either like, yes, oh yeah, I got shit to say, or no, I'm too busy. But with the women, it seemed more like if they weren't busy, it was like, oh, you know, I'm not sure. I'm not sure my opinion is valid enough to actually be able to say something. And I thought the whole feminist movement was meant to empower women to raise their voices, to say what their views are on things. And so that confidence needs to be promoted more within, just in general. It's not just women, but it seemed to be a thing specifically for women. So especially girls out there, I want to hear your voices.
Yes.
Like, women have fought too hard, men and women have fought too hard for women to have the freedoms and liberties we have now. And I think women should take more advantage of it. And I want to hear your voices, please. Okay, too many guys on these TVs. Okay, I'm gonna remove my penis, so there's one less guy out there. But yeah, like, tell us what you think, and I don't care if it's stupid. We'll laugh at you and we both learn together. If you think we're stupid, we laugh together and we both learn together. We just need to learn and improve.
Exactly. And I hope no one was offended from the videos by our reactions of what you said.
Yeah, we love everyone that took part.
It's the same, like, if you had us on camera, please rip us apart, rip our opinions apart. Like, we don't ever want to make fun of of who you are. Like, we never want to make you feel bad of who you are. Like, we accept everyone, but your opinions, like, let's discuss. Because our opinions, please, if you disagree, prove us wrong, lad.
Yeah.
Because we're probably wrong. So
we could be wrong. Yeah, so don't be afraid. And yeah, I think, do you know what I don't like about our generation? I think acceptance is deemed as giving people the ability to take liabilities or to treat them differently. That's what acceptance is deemed as. For me, acceptance is you accept who this person is, so you could be honest and open with them how you feel. Like, and that might involve calling them a dickhead, but you love them. That's why I don't call you a dickhead if I didn't give a shit about you. So we need to have. Do you get what I mean?
Oh, for real.
So
we love you, dickheads.
Love you. Should we call them dickheads?
Before we started this episode, we were like, "Oh, what should we call our viewers?" I was like, "It will come naturally."
So we're calling you guys dickheads because we're dickheads too. Everyone's a dickhead.
We're all dickheads. I'm a dickhead. He's a dickhead.
Yeah.
There's a dickhead.
We're gonna remove this dickhead, so there's one less dick. I'll say I'm bad for that. All
right.
Yeah, that was what's called High Talks. You know, we're on a high level. Remember, shoot for the stars, and if you fall, you'll land on the clouds. So
see you next week.
Hey.